So, I'm currently stuck in a traffic jam on the I-95 approaching the George Washington Bridge. And I'm the happiest I've been for so long. Why? 2 years ago, I made a definitely foolish, possibly reckless decision to give up my career in film that I was working on, more or less entirely, and focus on trying to do something I enjoyed and that I really sincerely hoped could be turned into a career, that being, of course, this YouTube channel. And earlier this morning, I got on a plane bound for the United States of America, where I'm going to spend just over 2 weeks staying with people that follow the channel and who've been enjoying what I've been doing for some time, and, you know, who share the same kind of views as me, automotive-wise at least, perhaps not politically. And I got to the airport, and sat there waiting for me is a manufacturer's press car. You know, a major automotive manufacturer, one of the largest in the world, has given me a car to drive around in for 2 weeks. And it's not some old jalopy, it's really nice, but more on the car later, or possibly in the next video. But I don't tend to get emotional on this channel because it's just not really me. But I really hope I can do a good job of the next couple of weeks in terms of filming and delivering the content, and make it worth what the time you guys have invested in me watching the channel, and of course the people I'm about to go and meet and see the time and the money and effort you guys are investing as well in putting me up and just being all round amazing people. Long may it continue. Thank you so much for being a part of the channel. Even if this is the first video you watched, thank you so much anyway. Okay, so here I am. As you can probably tell, I am in a graveyard. It is an idyllic, if enormous, place. We really don't tend to get places like this in England, and I find it amazing and beautiful how immaculately kept all the grave sites are. Now, I'm not here for a road test, obviously. I'm here for a bit of family history. You see, I've known my family have had a connection with the west coast of America for quite some time, but I didn't realise until recently there is actually a strong Martin connection to the east coast. My grandfather, who you may have seen in the RS3 video, is from Ireland, but what I didn't realise is that his father was born in New York. Now, he was born in New York because his father had emigrated from Ireland, as many did in the late 1800s, come to the United States, joined up in the military, we believe the army, served, was wounded, honourably discharged, and started a family here. Unfortunately, one of his children had very bad lungs, this being my great-grandfather, and so, turn of the century, New York City, the air was of course not very good. So they said, if you want the child to survive, you need to get him where the air is good, and the family returned to Ireland. Now, I thought that was sort of the end of the story as far as America went. Actually, I was wrong. Not all of the Martins returned. One branch stayed, one gentleman in particular by the name of Joseph Martin. Now, I found some information out recently. Another family member, a distant relative, has done some digging, and we found an article about Joseph P. Martin, born 1897, died, dates vary. He was a very senior member of the Justice Department, essentially. He joined the US Attorney and worked in various roles, very high-ranking roles, working high-profile cases, including winning a conviction of the notorious gangster Frank Costello. So, a very prominent member of the community, and died many years ago, died before my father was even born. And I thought, as I knew where he was buried and it was not too far from where I was going, that it would be proper and respectful to come here and attempt to find the grave, which, as I'm sure you can imagine, amongst all of this, is not easy. But I had a little bit of help from some ladies at a florist, where I bought a small token, and I managed to find the grave. There are many Irish graves around here. This is surrounded by O'Shea's and Donohue's and O'Leary's and the like, and there's more than one Martin as well. I didn't want to get flowers because they last about 5 minutes in the heat. I instead bought this simple little token, and I'm going to leave here on the gravesite, and hopefully it'll stay here for a little while, because I wanted our family to know that we have remembered them. I now am going to jump back in my lovely air-conditioned car, go and get some food, and then carry on to my final destination for today, which is the town of Milford in Connecticut. So I'm doing many states this journey. I think at least a dozen states, at least 11 of which I've never been to before. Today alone I should be doing 3. So onwards and outwards. I hope you've enjoyed this little bit of family history, something very different, I know, and I don't really go into personal stuff much, but it seemed worthwhile. And here we are. We're in Connecticut. Not at our final destination. I've literally just crossed over the border, as it were, and I'm just stopping to sort out a couple of bits of my phone and so on. It's not charging properly. That's a cable problem, not a car problem. But it's rather green round here. I quite like it. And that's the end of my first day in the USA. I am now in my lovely lodgings at Rob's house in Connecticut. And tomorrow, not quite sure what the weather's going to do. There's been a thunderstorm earlier. There's little bits of rain, but there's a lot of lightning going on off in the distance, but it's lighting the sky up. It's quite impressive. I've got a couple of car dealerships I might go and look at. They've got some really nice, cool old cars and interesting and unusual stuff. So just going to play it by ear, really, and of course, bring you guys along for the ride.